Hello, welcome back to another installation of What Would Lou Do. Today we're bringing to you a secret recipe of sorts, dear old granddad's cough medicine. Not really, this is something that I concocted here. We actually just refer to it as the concoction. This is basically a remedy for, quote, colds, quote, flu, many different uses for this actually. You know, at the sign of a runny nose, we use these, or a cough, sore throat. Take a little bit of this and it's like the next day you feel so much better, if not 100% recovered. Very medicinal. I know that's widely debated here on BoobTube and actually on the net in general. This is my way of combating these type of ailments because it's always best to do it as naturally as you can, because there's virtually no side effects unless you happen to be allergic to one of these things. This is packed full of nutrients, packed full of vitamins, packed full of healthy, very wholesome ingredients. And so we're just going to show you guys how to make this. Hopefully it'll give you that pickup you need and get you back on your feet in no time. So what do we have here? We've got a lemon, which is the star of the show. The majority of this is going to be the lemon. The juice we actually take and squeeze out separately and use it for lemon water. But we're going to be using everything else. A lot of good stuff here that people throw away. The whole lemon is very much useful, very, very medicinal. And then we have here ginger. You don't have to use the fresh, but it is more potent, I guess you'd say, and probably kick it up a little bit. But you know, I usually just use the ground up stuff for the sake of time, because you do have to sit there and peel this and all that. But definitely you use the fresh stuff if you prefer. And we move on to cinnamon. Cinnamon's very, very good for a lot of things. Circulation. I forget all the things escaping me at the moment. But yeah, this also has many medicinal properties. And then we also have turmeric, or turmeric, or turmeric, I've actually heard people say. I just call it turmeric. It's another root similar to ginger. It's mild compared to the ginger. You really don't even notice it in there. Also very high in medicinal properties, so need that in there as well. And last but not least, raw honey. And so that's basically all the ingredients that we're going to need. As far as lemons go, I have about 3 pounds of lemons. Most of the times you're going to see bags of either 2 to 3 pounds. You could probably get away with a 2-pound bag, but I happen to have 3 right now, so that's what I'm going to use. Since we're going to be using the peel and all that, I recommend washing these really well. If they are not organic, I would suggest that you soak them in a little bit of water, vinegar, and baking soda to try and break down some of the stuff that they usually tend to spray on the outside of these. Petroleum wax and all kinds of stuff to keep these things shelf stable for a very long time. So you want to break all that off as much as you can before you throw it in the pot. Oh, also, that's another thing. You're going to need about 1 gallon of distilled water. I wouldn't use tap water or anything like that, because it may interfere with this healthy bacteria from the honey and all those other things. So definitely go with distilled water. Now, I have to squeeze all the juice out of all these, but I'm not going to bore you with all that. So alrighty, so once you're done with that, you should have a buttload of lemon juice and a buttload of deflated little lemon heads. So now to this, we're going to set it on the stove, add our water, and get to cooking. So now you just want to take your distilled water and top it off. That's about how much I usually use, about 1/2 gallon to 3/4 gallon. Then we just cover it and simmer it over medium heat and allow it to break down the pulp and the rind and all that jazz. So we're just going to leave this simmering maybe 20 to 30 minutes and we'll come back and check on it then. Okay, so once we've cooked this or reduce this for about 20-30 minutes or so, you'll notice that the lemons will look a lot more pale I guess. Everything's nice and broken down in there. I take one of these potato mashers and just get a little bit more of everything out of there because, you know, the heat helps release a lot more of the juices and all that goodness that you really want in your concoction. And then we're gonna drain this, right, to strain out all that pulp and everything. You could leave it in there, I guess, if you wanted to. I usually tend to take it out because it's basically served its purpose. I've just strained it into this mason jar here. It says I've come up to right at 6 cups. I may or may not have spilled some, so probably could have had more, but let's not talk about that. All right, so I'm just gonna add it back to the pot here, bring it back up to temperature. Now this is where we're gonna add our honey, our ginger, cinnamon, turmeric, and all that good stuff. So if you're using raw honey, which is gonna be the most medicinal, have the best nutritional value to it, you don't wanna get this up to 145. 140 below, that should be good enough to mix the honey and everything else in there. I'll bring that back up and then we'll reconvene. All right, so you can see there that we are now at 136. So that's good enough. I'll turn this back down to low. Then we're just gonna add a few tablespoons of honey. I'm gonna do 3 to start with. So let's see if 3 is good. So basically, you can think of this as a big pot of cough drops without the mentholatum and all that good stuff. Let's have a taste. I'm gonna say I could probably definitely use 1 more, maybe 2. Actually 4 is good enough on that. I don't want it overly sweet, but you could add more if you want to. Use it at your own discretion. To that, now we're going to add our cinnamon, ginger, and turmeric. 1 teaspoon cinnamon. Same for your ginger powder. And for the turmeric, I usually do 1/2 teaspoon. Now you probably notice it looks kind of like apple cider. Got that very dark amber color to it. So you want to just let this simmer maybe 10 minutes to really bring out the nutrients of all those spices. You can just throw these right into ice trays. If they're plastic, I would recommend you let this cool completely and then pour it into them. Another thing that you can do if you don't want all these spices left in is that you can run that through a cheesecloth, which I do have. I'll probably do that just so there's no clumps of anything in there. As far as this goes, it's done. You just gotta let it simmer a little bit and then serve it up. If you wanted to, take a tablespoon or so of it right now, you very well could. I think I'll do that. See if we got it good. You wanna try it? Oh yeah. A little bitter, which of course you expect that from the peel, rind, all that good stuff. So like I said, if you want to boost it up on the honey, or you could probably dilute it a little bit with water. You saw that I had 6 cups, which was not quite 1/2 gallon. I could have replaced that little bit that I lost with a little bit more water. But to me, the more potent it is, the better, the more beneficial it is actually. So I'm just gonna leave that way, let that simmer a few minutes, and then I'll show you how to put the finishing touches on this. All right, so once you've strained your mixture, like I said, you can skip this step if you want. You can leave all the spices and everything in there. It doesn't bother anything. It's just, it might be a little gritty at the bottom. So try to strain off as much of that as I can. And then so what I do after this is I take it and I put it into these ice trays and freeze them. And then you have individual little concoction shots or concoctions, right? And whenever anyone's feeling rough or, you know, like a quote cold is coming on, they just pop one of those out, throw it into a little cup, warm it up, and sip it back, and boom. It's basically like melting a cough drop or a lozenge. So from here, you just want to take it and ladle it into your ice tray. Obviously, this is a little too big for me to do it, but you can just pour it in there if you want. I'll show you. Just pour it, tilt it, a little bit more on this end. That's gonna do it right there. Then of course you just freeze these, and once they're done, I pop them out and put them in a little baggie. Here's what's left of the last ones that I've done. So there's one, frozen. So yeah, you just pop these out and you've got individual little servings. All right, so there you have it. I only have one ice tray vacant at the moment, so the rest of this is gonna have to wait, but you get the general idea. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You got a runny nose, pull one of these out and take it. You got a cough, sore throat, pull one of these out and take it. Maybe two of them if you're feeling extra bad. But as of right now, it's just anecdotal. But if you guys happen to try this and it works for you, please leave a comment telling us so. Because you can't beat natural remedies. I know it's frowned upon on the pharmaceutical industries and all those things, but there's a reason for that. It's because they want you going to them, not being able to heal yourself, basically. Please give this a try and let us know what you think about it. If you found this video helpful, we ask that you strike that like, swell that bell, subscribe and vibe with us, make us feel all appreciated and whatnot. We appreciate you guys for watching. As we always say, seek the Lord while he may be found, or call upon him while he is near, because he is near unto those that be of a broken heart, and save such that be of a contrite spirit. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. He resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So cast yourselves down before the Lord and he will lift you up. Until next time, take care and God bless.